Now we've got our first guest, and that's going to be Scott Bauer. He's the CEO of Prosper Trading Academy and a frequent guest here on the network. He's joining us to take a look at a few of the market movers today. Welcome to the show, Scott. Good to have you back.
How are you, Tom?
Just your real quick take on the. I'm doing well, Scott. Good to hear you again. Not see you, but hear you.
Exactly.
Give me your take on the market action today. Because we've seen some volatility over, midday after these meetings between Mnuchin and Pelosi end with no deal in sight. What's your take on the overall market real quick?
Yeah, it's kind of a repeat of what we saw yesterday, especially towards the end of the day where, what you just said, the meetings between Pelosi and Mnuchin is really what is moving the market right now. When there's a sign of optimism that hits the headlines, we're seeing the market rally. And then all of a sudden when we see, okay, talks are off or, talks are being stalled or halted, we see the market, get hit a little bit. So, that's just adding a little bit more volatility to an already volatile market environment, given everything else going on right now.
Yeah, and I think that's going to continue until we get some concrete details on a stimulus package. But it seems like still seems like they're pretty far apart. Let's get into some individual names here, Scott. And the first one on your radar is Virgin Galactic, ticker symbol SPCE, up nearly 4% today. Got a nice little price initiation earlier this week out of Bank of America at $35 a share. What's your take here on Virgin Galactic?
Here's a stock that was one of the, I don't want to say high-flying names, but one of the glamour names just a few months ago, right? Everybody had to get into this stock, Elon Musk, this, that, the other. However, looking at it from a technical standpoint now, Tom, especially coming off of this upgrade that we got earlier in the week, this thing is held really, really strong about that $19 range, which is the 50-day moving average. And we saw a nice pop above that. There is some short-term resistance here around 21, which it seems like it's, trying to test here. But technically, if we can get through that area of 21, there's going to be a breakout here, probably up to 26, 27. So, outside of the glamour of it being Elon Musk and what they do, technically, I really, really like this stock.
Yeah, it is bouncing off those support levels on those moving averages, Scott. And this is one of those names. Anytime it's up, earlier this week, we see a ton of option volume in there. Can you take anything away from the speculators that get into names like that, where they can actually push the stock up higher?
Yeah, there's no doubt they can. But everything I always do, Tom, and this back from the day down on the floor, and then our talk. Now, everything I do with options, it's always risk defined. So, this is one of those stocks that gives, whether it's a trader or a speculator, the opportunity to get into it and have some upside, whether they want to do a naked call and have unlimited upside or just hedge themselves a little bit without the exposure of buying a $20 stock. So this is the type of stock that you do see, as you just said, many buyers, many call buyers come in when we, get an upgrade or when there's some news out on a stock like this.
Yeah, that'll be one of those high flyers once they actually get somebody out into space and to pay for those trips out there. We'll have to wait and see on that.
Better you than me.
The next name I wanted to take a look at. Yeah, I won't even get on a regular plane right now, so I'm not going to space anytime soon. So let's talk Xilinx. It's up about 2% on the day, up over 5% for the week. Why is this stock on your radar, Scott?
Couple reasons. Just a short while ago, a report came out that a massive amount of hedge funds, I think more than 50 hedge funds, had come out and bought into Xilinx. This was, maybe about 3-4 weeks ago. So you're getting big money coming into that space there. I love the semis to begin with, but you're getting big money coming in there. And then also from a technical standpoint, they just recently had a very, very nice bounce right off of that 50-day moving average, around 103 area here. So the combination of, I don't want to call it the smart money, but big money going into that, and then technically the bounce off of the 50, I really like that combination. I like the upside here.
Yeah, and also they were approved by the White House and the administration for a license to actually deal with Huawei, as Qualcomm's waiting on that,
Yep.
awaiting a license. But they and Micron and a couple others were allowed to actually do business with Huawei during that ban. So that's probably a positive for this company moving forward. Now, Scott, let's get to our last one. And you know what? I actually had to do a little bit of research on this one when you sent it on your
Yeah.
notes, and that's Big Commerce, and ticker symbol is BIGC. Now, this stock just recently went IPO at a price of $24, and
$24
over 260%. Yeah, yeah, it would have been nice to get in there at that price. It's up over 260% from its IPO price, but a big steep drop from the highs that we saw post IPO. What's your take here on Big C?
So this one to me is absolutely more speculative than the other ones that we've talked about. And like you said, major pop off of that IPO has come down and has been trading very range bound for, probably the last 6 weeks or so. And if you look at the trade here, up and down and up and down, all around that 85 level or so, it's put in a lot of volume there. So technically, is there enough data there to tell me that that's important? Maybe not, because the IPO was just recent here. But when I look at a stock like this and I look at e-commerce, which is, that whole sector has just been flourishing. That whole sector has just had so many tailwinds to it. This is one I look at that, yeah, it's trading 4 times or 3 times above its IPO, but it's well off its highs. It's been consolidating, and I think it's ripe for a breakout. That being said, again, absolutely more speculative than the other two, Space and Xilinx that we talked about, but I really like the upside potential here.
Yeah, and going back to your adage, and our adage that we always try to teach, stay in risk defined, especially in names like this. I think that stock traded above $160 at one point post IPO. But Scott, they also did partner with Facebook's Instagram feature as far as checkout goes. People are online on those social media platforms buying things through those ads, and big commerce is a big part of that. All right, Scott, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for that take on those 3 names. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Coming up next is going to be my chart of the day after the break.